Well, chit-chat, Kit Kats. Well, you know, we're waiting to hit the road again. I'm waiting for those cards to be delivered. Who knows if they're even usable or not? I'll find out pretty soon. They've got to be here before noon. So we'll see. So I've been rearranging things in the car, in the Cosmic Gypsy, getting ready to take off. But, yeah, I know you heard it. Not yet. Not yet, Mickey. So I had to make sure that I had new puppy food in there. I do have to stop and buy some more turkey for the puppies. So that's a must-do on the way there. And I'm trying to think, yeah, I wanted to get maybe another kind of cheese, a block cheese. Now I am taking the cottage cheese and definitely the Parmesan so that I can make my little chips. I think I could still make them in the Cosmic Gypsy. I think I can make them in my little egg thing that I have in there. So, packing up is easy since I'm carnivore. Now, what I did is I take my meats out, put it in the plastic wrap first, and then I'm putting it in the freezer bag thing so I can stack them in there. So easy breezy with that. I'm taking hard-boiled eggs that are already done, okay? They're in there. I'm taking some Braunschweiger, and I'm taking some Applewood, you know, they're grass-fed beef hot dogs. So those are in there as well. Plus, in the back, I have canned meats. I've got Vienna sausage, I've got tuna, I've got corned beef. I've got a lot of different things, canned things that you can take easily if you're carnivore to have on the way as well. So it's looking like it's going to work pretty well, but I figured putting, you know, wrapping it separately in the plastic wrap, I found is keeping the meat way fresher than leaving it in the package it comes in. And again, easier to pack when I put it in the freezer bags. I can just stack them up. And then if you get any kind of leakage, it's not going to go in the refrigerator. It'll be contained in that freezer bag thing. So easy way that you can pack quite a bit of stuff. And, yeah, be ready to roll. So I'm looking forward to trying my chip maker, see if I can make my cottage cheese Parmesan chips in my little egg bite maker. I think that's going to work actually well to do that. So I'm going to try that as well. So we'll find out pretty soon. But yeah, looking forward to hitting the road again. Oh my goodness. Now I did get the new flask to do the hydrogenator. And the other day I got that Icelandic, you know, it's supposed to be a really good water, but I have to say I don't care for it. It's got kind of an underlying, sort of a metallic type of a taste. So I'm not thrilled with that one. And then they say, you know, you drink the distilled water. Well, no, you need some of the minerals and things that are in them, you know. So I'm not a proponent of drinking distilled water. You know, I like more some of the spring water things, so we'll see. But anyway, I'm going to take the little 12-ounce flask so I can hydrogenate my water, which I like. Now, I can't do the magnetic water. I do that here with the purified thing that I have here. First it magnetizes the water and then it hydrogenates it. Now I really like that, but they don't make one of those types of systems that's small that you can take, you know, if you're doing car life. So that's where that's at. So yeah, this morning I just had a couple of those hot dogs. Well, I shared them with these two. I don't, you know, I don't fully get it myself. Now the Applewood, they are the grass-fed beef, and they only have in the spices and that type of thing. It doesn't have any other fillers or other stuff like that. Now I looked at like Nathan's and other ones, and it says 100% grass-fed beef, but you look at the things and it's got other stuff in it. Okay? There's another one that I had that I really liked it, the Hebrew National, same thing. You look at, you read it, and it's got like corn something in it, and I'm going, what? You know, so the only one that I've found that is really 100% grass-fed beef and only has the spices in it, it doesn't have any other fillers or other stuff in there, is the Applewood. So I just had a couple of those Applewood hot dogs, and it was quite fine. I was able to eat that quite fine. Now, I've always had a problem with hot dogs. I think it's because they have, I don't know, chicken, pork, whatever, those things in it, and I get feeling ill halfway through the hot dog. Yeah, I may crave a hot dog, but then I can't eat those. So I'm really surprised to find the Applewood that they are 100% grass-fed beef without fillers, and I can eat those fine. And so that's something really easy to have if you're doing carnivore and you're on the road. Very simple, you know, thing you can take. And then for regular muscle meat, now I have a ribeye in there that I bought from here. But it's kind of got, I don't know why, it's got kind of a gamey kind of a taste to it, which I'm surprised. It was a very expensive thing of meat. So, you know, I am eating it because it was pretty expensive, but it does have a kind of underlying kind of a gamey flavor to it, which is kind of unusual. And the thing I usually get, if I can find it, is chuck eye, if you're carnivore, because it's a more fatty piece of meat. It's, again, a lot less expensive, and I find it's just as good as any of the steaks out there. So that's usually what I look for. If I can find the chuck eye, that's what I buy. And that will last me, you know, a number of meals. I don't eat a lot at a time. So, again, you know, that works well. Chuck eye is really a good cut of meat. Much better than some of the expensive ones. So, yeah, I always look for chuck eye if I can find it. And what else did I bring? Oh, butter. You really have to look at the back and to make sure that it's full butter, because if you look on the back, it'll say grass-fed, all of this, but you look on the back, it's got natural flavoring in it. That's not 100% butter. So I did find in Walmart, I did find one brand that it's from New Zealand. Now I had another New Zealand one I bought that I found. I looked on the back of it, and no, it's got natural flavoring. So you really have to look at the back of your butter, what's in it. You only want cream in it and salt if you like the salted one, and that's it. And if it says natural flavoring, then they are putting something else in there, and it's not pure butter. Okay, So other thing to look for, if you're doing carnivore and you want to do, pure carnivore, those are things to look for. So yeah, we'll see. Now I did try doing the cheese, my little cheese chip last evening, and I used a different type of cheese. And usually I said 2 minutes in the microwave. But with that other type of cheese, I had to put it in for another 30 seconds because the cheese is more oily, and it took another 30 seconds in there to crisp up. But I find what works the best with that is half cottage cheese and half of the Parmesan, and it makes a really nice, crisp, easy breezy. So yeah, that's what I do. Or you can just do plain Parmesan cheese and make it Parmesan cheese crisp. Again, easy breezy and so good. And quite good if you're doing carnivore. Now the reason I switched over to carnivore, trying yet again. I've tried this before, didn't do so well. And it wasn't that the carnivore wasn't good for me. It was boring for me. I wasn't really dead set on it yet. But because I have type 2 diabetes, I know because I've actually done it before, is when I go cut out all the sugar. So now instead of sugar, I use stevia, and that's fine, or monk fruit, that's fine. But I can have no carbs, no rice, no bread. Bread's really bad. Any of those things really spike your blood sugar like crazy. And then having an ostomy on top of it, meat breaks down fully. Okay, you never find a little piece of undigested meat in your ostomy thing, whereas if you're having vegetables and fruits, yeah, a lot of that stuff, it does not digest. And anything with a fruit comes out in the bag like a hard pellet, like a hard rock. It doesn't break down at all. I had blueberries once. I thought, oh, these will be good for you. I was having like these hard things like stones, and I go, what is that? It's the blueberry, the blueberry skin. It doesn't break down. It comes out like a little hard rock. Okay. And one thing that, really killed me, I had apricot. I had, the dried apricot, that type of thing. And it really caused big ostomy blockage. Oh my God, that one was really bad. That was really bad. So you can't have any of those kind of fruits, those types of things. And they tell you need to eat a lot of fiber. Okay? You need to eat a lot of fiber. You need to have, and they have everything backwards. And the fiber, if you have an ostomy, the fiber can be really, really bad. And so many people that are eating a lot of vegetarian fibers, that stuff, wind up with, what do they call, IBS? A lot of stomach problems. Then they wind up having to get an ostomy. I think they usually have to get an ileostomy. I have a colostomy. Because in my case, I had something really, leave it to me to get something that's really, really, really rare. If you look it up, you can't even hardly find anything about it at all. You could find diverticulitis regular, but I had rectal diverticulitis. Go ahead and look it up and see what you can find on it. 0.1%. Ever developed that. 0.1%. Yeah, that's how rare it is. But that's what happened in my case, and why I wound up with an ostomy. and why I'm not changing it. Okay, I decided to live with it rather than trying to reverse it. Just because reading through the whole thing of what they did in the operation, I looked at it and said, yeah, no, to try to reattach it would not be good. Okay. So, yeah, I'm living with an ostomy, and I don't regret having an ostomy at all. I look at the benefits of it, actually, rather than the woe is me drama concerning it. But, yeah. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Now, as I was saying, I have done carnivore before, and it took my A1C down to 5. So I didn't need to take any more metformin, nothing. So, but I have to be really dedicated to it. No carbs, no starches, none of that. No sugar, no carbs, no starches. So if I stay strictly carnivore, it will reverse my blood sugar problems. 100%. I know it does because I've done it before. But when I started reintroducing the carbs and stuff, went right back up. So if you have diabetes, you have type 2, you want to get out of having to take metformin or any of that, do carnivore. But you got to be strict carnivore, no sugar, no starches, not even starchy vegetables and stuff. Anything with carbs and stuff, heavy carbs, that'll drive your blood sugar straight up. So you can reverse that down to where you don't have to take metformin or anything. Okay? So that's where that's at. And so that's why I've gone back to carnivore. For one, it's more beneficial if you have an ostomy. Okay? And, this idea that red meat doesn't digest, that's total nonsense. What doesn't digest is vegetables. You ever seen digested corn? No, it doesn't digest. You ever seen a piece of meat come out undigested? No. Mm-mm. So meat digests quite easily. So that's a fallacy, what they've been saying for so long, that red meat doesn't digest. Yeah, it digests quite easily. But, fruits and vegetables, fiber does not digest. Okay? And that causes a lot of problems for a lot of people. So anyway, on that note, I will leave that here. And like I said, I'm repacking the car. I think I'm going to go in and look at what clothing I have in there again to make sure what I want to take with me this time. And we're getting ready. No, we're not ready yet, Miss Lily. Yes, I know you heard what you heard. You're so smart, you little monkey. You're so smart. Did you give me the snort of happiness? Say I did. So some of the things I am taking, though, because I had a total thyroidectomy, I take my T3, T4 that are given by the doctor, and I just bought this supplement. We'll see how I do with it. Bioidentical T2. So I just added that to the regime. I'm doing the bromelain. So I'm doing this when I'm eating my food. I'll do 3 of these. And then I'm also doing the organic blueberry. I'm doing these as well. I do a couple of these in the morning, okay? So, yeah, because of the antioxidants and stuff. So I do that in the morning, and the bromelain, rather than doing the metformin. I'm adding the bromelain, which also helps to digest things, etc. And it's got the vitamin D in it, very high with the vitamin D and stuff as well. So I'm finding that this is working well as well for me. Anyway, on that note, I'll leave that here and continue to push forward, getting ready to go. I've got a couple things, like I said, I have to get at the grocery store on the way out, but I can't leave yet because I'm waiting for those Kaka cards to be delivered, and I've got to be here for that. Oh my God. So as soon as they show up, we're going to head out to the grocery store and hit the road.